30x2. This is the objective function. Max z is equal to 20x1 plus 30x2. Next line, subject to, comma, 2x1 plus x2 less than or equal to 40. 40. Second constraint, 4x1 minus x2, 4x1 minus x2 less than or equal to 20, less than or equal to 20, 20. Third constraint, x1 greater than or equal to 30, 30. x1 greater than or equal to 30. And the last non-negative condition, x1 comma x2 greater than or is equal to 0. So it's already there on your screen. You can check if you are not written. So start drawing the graph. So let's check who is there. Don't take too much of time, students. Do it fast. As and when you are getting the solution or at least the points, just let me know one by one.
Twenty and 40. First one.
First one, yeah, 20 and 40, correct.
Second one, 5 and minus 20.
Okay, 20, yeah, 5 and minus 20, right. Third one, no need to do. So draw the graph. So when the points are there, you can do it. So I'll directly go to the graph. You can see here. So that minus 20 point is here. You can check. So you have to go below 0. So I'll keep this open. So draw it if you are drawing. Just let me know once you finish drawing. So small explanation is required for you to understand this. Just let me know once you finish drawing. So here I have not written the equations for which I have drawn the line. So don't make that mistake. Write that equation for what particular equation that particular line is drawn. So if you see the scale here, I have taken 1 unit or 1 centimeter is equal to 5 units. Not 1 unit. 1 centimeter is equal to 5 units, both for x-axis and y-axis. So based on the space available and what are the points So you can take your own scale if you don't want to follow this. Yeah, students, are you done with it?
Yes, sir.
Just let me know once you are done. Okay. So now focus. Those who have not yet completed, you can do it later. You can focus on the screen. So what I want to tell you is this one. So two equations are here. Okay. Then what you need to focus is what it is less than or equal to. So less than or equal to. After drawing this, it is these two equations are for these two lines. So what it is, both are less than or equal to. That means with this towards the center or the origin, it should be on this side. Okay. So when it is on this side, so I'm drawing a line here. Okay. So this indicates that particular line indicates the area under that particular line. Okay. So according to what is being given, so it was greater than, it would be throughout this side. Okay, on this side here. But they are given on this side. So I have marked that particular area. So similarly for this particular line, again it is less than. So that's why I marked both. It is less than. So less than in the sense towards the center or towards the origin. So again this side. Okay. So again I have marked this particular area that comes under this in horizontal lines. Here it is a lines that are at a particular angle. Okay, a slant line. Here this here it starts from here. Okay, this is the line here which comes under this particular graph. Okay, or not the graph, under this particular line. So this is what is my area that comes under this particular line. Sorry, not that. Yeah, it is only till here. This will not be there. I'll just erase it. Get confused with this. Okay, so these three lines will not be there. These are the points. Sorry, the area under this particular line is this from origin. It starts here till this particular triangle. Okay, so now third one I have not written here, so I'll go back. Okay, I'll just check out what is the third one. It is greater than. Okay, so it is greater than here. You can see greater than x1 greater than or equal to 30. Coming back to this, that 30 is here. X1 is, it was x1, so it is on x. So this is x1. Okay, so this is x1. So it is on 30. I am drawing a vertical line at 30, and it says it is greater than. So greater than always here 30, 35, 40. So it should be on this side. Okay. So I have marked the area that comes on the right side. So they have said greater than. So this area is marked. So here the area under all the three, okay, all the three particular lines cannot be found. Okay, so if it was on this side, if it was on this side, so this whole area was there, and our feasible region would be this one. Okay, so I'll draw a line here. So this one would be the feasible region in case if it was on this side. So here what they have given? They have given on the opposite side. So all the three constraints are not meeting at a point. So this will tell us basically we cannot find a feasible region. So if we cannot find a feasible region, so there cannot be a particular what you call minimization or maximization. Basically optimization cannot happen here as we don't have a feasible region. Okay, so there might be different method to find it, but especially using graph we cannot find a optimum solution for this particular problem. Okay, I'll just remove all. Okay, so that's why it is called as a what? Infeasibility. Infeasible solution is there for this particular sum. Okay, so I hope you understood this. Any doubts here? So similarly, so as I have drawn the lines here, okay, so you should draw and make sure that in which area all the constraints are meeting, the area under all the constraints are meeting. Okay, that area will be a feasible region. So I think you can get here. So here slant lines are also there, horizontal lines also are there. Okay, instead of lines slanting this side, I could have drawn this side slanting. So if it was there, I could have drawn it like this. So where all these particular slanted lines, horizontal line, right side slanted, left side slanted, so will come and meet. So that area would be my feasible region. But in this case, we cannot have a feasible region. So we should write the answer as the constraints are not meeting. Okay, this particular solution for this problem is infeasible. Okay, that is what we need to write if something of this kind is given to you. They could ask you maximization, minimization, or they can just give you optimize this particular problem. Okay, so if this is the condition, you should tell them that we cannot get the solution as the feasible region is not available. So we are having infeasible solution for this particular problem. So remember this. This is one of the special case. Next, moving to unboundedness. Okay, this is the third special case, unboundedness. UN BOUNDEDNESS. UNBOUNDEDNESS. It is unboundedness. So we have already seen where the feasible region is not completely covered. Okay, one or the other side it is open. So this is called as unboundedness. So we have already seen two problems. So we'll go through this. We'll solve one more problem. Okay. So we should get to know what is unboundedness. So after writing this, we'll solve a sum. Then we'll move forward. So it is a special case. You can write it is a special case. It is a special case seen only for seen only for seen only for maximization problems. Okay, it is a special case seen only for maximization problems. Maximization problems, comma, unboundedness occurs. Unboundedness, UNBOUNDEDNESS. Unboundedness occurs when there is no boundary. Sorry, when there is no unboundedness occurs when there is no bounded feasible region. Bounded, BOUNDED, bounded feasible region observed for maximization linear programming problem. Maximization observed for maximization LPT. Okay, full stop. There is no constraint. There is no constraints to set the boundary. There is no constraints to set the boundary, and hence Z can be maximized, and hence Z can be maximized to infinite levels. Hence, Z can be maximized to infinite levels. Maximized to infinite levels. So here what they mean by only for maximization is for all the constraints it will be greater than or equal to. So in the problem you can see, or you can go back and check. So wherever we are having unbounded problem, you can see all the constraints are greater than or equal to. There will not be less than or equal to. If there was one less than or equal to, that could have bounded the other side. Okay, one side we are having x-axis and y-axis bounding. On the other side, we don't have anything. Okay, so that is what we are telling. Everything will be greater than or is equal to. So you can check here. So take down the problem. Max z is equal to 10x1 10x1 plus 20x2. Max z is equal to 10x1 plus 20x2. This is objective function. Next line, subject to, 2x1 plus 4x2 greater than or equal to 16. 2x1 plus 4x2 greater than or equal to 16. 1 6. Second constraint, x1 plus 5x2 greater than or equal to 15. 1 5 greater than or equal to 15. At the last non-negative condition, that is x1 comma x2 greater than or equal to 0. So what I was telling you about this, greater than or is equal to, greater than or is equal to. So both the constraints are having greater than or equal to only. Okay, solve this. So as and when you are getting the points to be marked, just let me know.
So for first equation, x1 is equals to 8 and x2 is equals to 4.
Yes, correct.
And for next, x1 is equals to 15 and x2 is equals to 3.
Yes, correct. So if you are done till here, so we'll move ahead to the graph. So you can try drawing the graph, 2 minutes. Then we'll go to the graph. So if you are done, just let me know.
Done, sir.
Done? Okay. So just check whether you have got the similar one. So 8 and 4, 15 and 3 is the right for x1 and x2 for both the equations. So as it is greater, so two lines are here, greater, all are above. So there is no bounded here. So there is, you cannot bind this. So it is open. Okay. It goes to infinity. So this is what is called as a unbounded problem. So are you getting similar graph?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So we'll move to the next one. So here this is a peculiar problem. Okay. So small difference is there. Instead of 2, they have given you 3 products. This is just formulation. If you remember, I have told you. So only up to two things or two products or two things we can basically do it in graph because we are having x and y axis only. In this case, they have given 3, but the only thing is this is a formulation problem. No need to draw the graph. If you want also, you cannot draw. Okay, take down this particular problem. I'll read out. A manufacturing company a manufacturing company a manufacturing company is engaged in producing a manufacturing company is engaged in producing three types of products. A manufacturing company is engaged in producing three types of products. Three types of products: A, B, and C. Capital A, B, and C. Full stop. The production department, the production department produces, comma, each day, the production department produces, comma, each day, comma, components, components sufficient to make, sufficient to make 50, 50 units of capital A, 50 units of A, comma, 25 units of B, 25 units of B, and 30 units of C, and 30 units of C. Full stop. The management is confronted. The management is confronted. CONFRONTED. Confronted with the problem of optimizing the daily production. Confronted with the problem of optimizing the daily production. Optimizing the daily production of the products. Daily production of the products in the assembly department. Of the products in the assembly department. In the assembly department, comma, where only 100 man hours, where only 100 man hours, where only 100 man hours are available daily, for assembling, are available daily for assembling, assembling the products, available daily for assembling the products. Stop. The following additional information is available. The following additional information is available. So draw this particular table. First column, type of product. Second column, profit contribution per unit. Profit contribution per unit of product. Profit contribution per unit of product in rupees. In bracket is 100 rupees. Third column, assembly time per production. Assembly time per production in bracket hours. Okay, type of product you can write in that particular column. It is A, B, and C. Profit contribution per unit of product. For A it is 12, for B it is 20, and for C it is 45. Assembly line for A it is 0.8, for B it is 1.7, for C it is 2.5. Okay, next line you can write the company has a daily order. The company The company has a daily order commitment. The company has a daily order commitment of 20 units commitment for 20 units of products A. The company has a daily order commitment of 20 units of product A and and a total of 15 units of and a total of 15 units of products B and C of products B and C. Full stop. Formulate this problem. Formulate this problem. Formulate this problem as an LP as an LP model as an LP model so as to maximize the total profit. So as to maximize the total profit. Formulate this problem as an LP model so as to maximize the profit. So this is the sum given to you. Go through it. Okay, only formulation has to be done. Don't worry about drawing the graph and all. So try for formulation. So first read the problem once again. Okay. So I'll give you around 10 minutes. It's a bigger problem. There are too many things given to you. Go through it. Mark what is important. Okay, and where it is used. First check what is asked. What is the objective function? There it is maximization. So when it is maximization, it will be related to objective function is related to the profit of A, B, and C. Okay, before this, let x1 is equal to number of products of A, x2 is equal to number of products of B, and x3 is equal to number of products of C. The objective function will contain of product A, B, and C. Here instead of x1 and x2, we are getting x1, x2, and x3. Remember this. This is the hint that is being given to you. So you can make a table of what other information is given. Okay, like one they have given for the assembly time and the profits for each product A, B, and C they have given. So similarly, other information what is given to you. Okay, what other numbers are there? Just check and whether can you make that particular column like what they have made here. So just try making that one. Then it will be easy for you to write the constraints. So for writing the objective function, I don't think you need anything else. So everything is there here as of now. Okay, just check if you have done a second table, whether it looks like this, whether you have taken all. So what all were the constraints? So one in the previous table only they have given, that is timing. Okay, total timing and timing, like the number of hours required for production of A, B, and C 1 unit per given. Okay, that is also considered here. That is man hours per unit. Then production capacity. How much is it? 50, 25, and 30 for A, B, and C. Man hours 0.8, 1.7, and 2.5. Order commitments. So what is the commitment? 20 of A, 20, 15 of B, and sorry, both included B and C. It is 15. Okay. So you should read that particular sentence properly. It's not 15 and 15. It is both including B and C. It is 15, and profit contribution 12, 20, and 45. Again, this is a particular table where it is combining the previous table plus the uh, information that was not in a tabular form. So all this was basically put in one table. Okay, so if you do this, so using this profit contribution, you can make the objective function. Okay, then for production capacity, you can make one more constraint here. So for man hours, one more constraint. Then this will be separately taken. So done with this, shall I move ahead or you are still copying?
Sir, done.
Okay. So I'll move ahead. This is the solution. So I told that x1, x2, and x3 is equal to number of units of product A, B, and C to be produced respectively. So you can put separately or you can put in one sentence like this all together. Okay, the LP model, what is the maximize that? I told you with respect to profit. So it was 12, 20, and 45. You can see here 12, 20, and 45. So for A it is x1, for B it is x2, and for C it is x3. So similarly, here 12x1 plus 20x2 plus 45x3. This is maximization. This is objective function, sorry. And objective function is to maximize. Subject to the constraints. What are the constraints? For labor and materials. For labor and materials, for labor it is 0.8x1, 1.7x2 and 2.5x3. Okay, and total how much you are having per day? I am having 100. So I cannot have more than 100. So but I can have less than 100. Okay, so it is less than or equal to 100 is the first constraint. Second one, so if you see about materials, so how much is the maximum capacity? So it is x1 is less than 50. If we go back here, what is the component sufficient? So each day the component sufficient to make 50 units of A. So 50 units of A, then 25 units of B. Okay, 25 units of B and 30 units of C. So these are separately given. Okay, so it will be separately taken. X1 less than or equal to 50, X2 less than or equal to 25, and X3 less than or equal to 30. So this is my production, total production capacity. So based on capacity, I am getting these three constraints. Then for order commitment, so if you see here, so one is 20 and both B and C it is 15. Okay, this is one and this is one. So A less than or equal to 20, so not less than. So minimum 20 they need to give, but production capacity is 50. You can see here 50 is there. So why will I only produce 20? Okay, for one of the order who has already said I want this much, so that is for 20. The 20 is my order in hand. Okay, so but I can produce more than this, right? Because my capacity is 50, but in hand order is 20, so I can produce more and I can try to sell it later. So what I'll do? So this one will be greater than or equal to, see here, x1 greater than or equal to 20. Then B and C combined we need greater than or equal to 15, because both included I need 15. So but the capacity, if you see, both for B it is 25 and C it is 30. Why should I produce only 15 including both? Okay, so it is x1 plus x2, x2 plus x3, not x1 plus x2. x1 is already done, x1 greater than or equal to 20. That is x2 plus x3 greater than or equal to 15. Then non-negative condition, that is x1, x2, x3 greater than or equal to 0. So how many of you would get most of this? Because this is hard to get first. Okay, this is hard to get. So just remember, so unnecessary, very rarely they will give you unnecessary information there. So you are using whatever a particular number is given somewhere or the other in constraints or in the objective function. So remember this. Okay, so just like that, they will not give any number in the sum or the problem. So it will be somewhere connected, whether with the objective function or most of the times. So objective function, whether it is cost or whether it is profit, whether it is sales or something. So those things, those numbers will be in objective function. The rest, other than that, everything will be in constraints. So you need to find out where I can fit it. So here I am having how many bigger ones, with all the three, I am having one. Here one. That's all. Rest three single here in terms of production. Then order, I am having x1 single, then x2 plus x3 greater than or equal to 15. So this is the second one. So how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 constraints are there. I told you, right? But they have combined it under a particular heading. So here labor is this, in terms of material is this, then order commitment is this. So under labor it is 1, under material it is 3, so total it becomes 4, under order commitment it is 2, 4 plus 2, 6. There are 6 different constraints which are given to you in this particular sum. Okay. So any doubts here? Anyone did not understand anything? If yes, ask me, otherwise we'll move ahead. Anyone, any doubts, students? Say no or yes. Answer.
No, sir.
No doubts, right? So shall I move ahead?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So two sums I'm giving you for your homework. Okay. So anybody wants to solve, or let it be a open challenge to everyone. So I can ask anyone out of the entire lot which is present. Okay. So how you want to do it? These are easy ones only. So only two constraints are there. So anyone who is willing to do this, solve it.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. Who was that? Can you tell me your name?
the homework.
Yeah, I'm not able to hear you properly. You can message me if you are interested. Okay. So the first two students who will message me, I'll drop the name in the group. Okay. Message me personally. So I'll first two students who will be dropping the name, I'll be putting them in the group. Okay, official group. Those two people will be solving these two. Okay. So your entire, if you can, well and good. Okay, entire in the sense it's not a formulation also. So you need to draw a graph and find. So in this case, it is maximization, max z. So in the next one, it is maximization only. Okay. So take down this. All of you take down this. Try, and the student who will be presenting, drop me a particular message. So these are very easy ones. There are two constraints only. So first problem, max z is equal to 10x1 plus 6x2. Max z is equal to 10x1 plus 6x2, subject to constraints 5x1 plus 3x2 less than or equal to 30. 5x1 plus 3x2 less than or equal to 30. Second constraint, x1 plus 2x2, x1 plus 2x2 less than or equal to 18. x1 plus 2x2 less than or equal to 18, 1 8. Then non-negative condition, x1 comma x2 greater than or equal to 0 is the first sum. So next moving to the second sum. Second sum, max z is equal to 6x1 minus 4x2. 6x1 minus 4x2. Okay, subject to constraints 2x1 plus 4x2 less than or equal to 4. 2x1 plus 4x2 less than or equal to 4. Second constraint 4x1 plus 8x2, 4x1 plus 8x2 greater than or equal to 16. 4x1 plus 8x2 greater than or equal to 16. And the last one, that is non-negative condition, x1 comma x2 greater than or is equal to 0. These are the two sums, okay, for your homework. And as I told, message me personally, so I'll be dropping in the group. So what you need to do is solve this the way I have done. Take pics, okay, put it in a particular presentation PPT. Then you can share your screen, okay, so that we can check whether it is right or wrong, or anybody has different answers. We'll get to see over there. Okay, so just remember, solve it as usual. Take the photo, put it in particular PPT, then you can present it. Okay, in the next class we will see these two presentations. Plus, by these particular two problems, we are coming to the end of module 2. Okay, anyone, any doubts you can ask me now, or this is officially we are completing module 2, and in the next class, after this solution of these two problems, we will move to module number 3. Okay, so anyone, any doubts?
No, sir.
No, right? Okay, so don't forget to message your name if you are okay to share. There is nothing wrong in being wrong or sharing, so you need to have this. I think uh, you have already done this, right, for different subjects where you have already given the presentations. So there should not be any ambiguity how to do it, what to do it, and all. So don't worry about that. So just message, very easy. You can do it in 5 minutes now. Okay, after this particular class. So we'll end the class for today. As you are not having any doubts, so in the next class we will be